I don't even know where to start. All of these were gifted by publishers. So I did not buy these. I was going to also incorporate the books I bought at New York Comic Con, but I talk about those in a video that I'm editing. So I was like, it doesn't make sense to also haul them here. Um, so these are all the books that I was gifted by publishers slash authors. And these are all the books that I received from August. So this is August, September, October, November, December. Was that 5 months? Yeah, 5 months. And usually 5 months worth of books would be a lot more than the 29 that's sitting here. But November and December is usually very slow for book mail because there's not a lot of books coming out. All right, let's just jump into it. I did not separate these by publisher like I usually would. So we're just gonna go straight into it. But this is Beautiful Broken Love by Shanora Williams. This is an adult romance. I read this in December, absolutely loved it. We have a business owner. I'm trying to remember what business she owns. Is it skincare? Yeah. She has a skincare line. She's recently lost her husband. I think it was like a year ago, 7 months. She recently lost her husband, so she throws everything into this skincare line. And then we have a very popular basketball player who is invited to be the not spokesperson, but the what is it called when like you get signed on for a brand and you like do promotion for them? But yeah, and it's like instant attraction, but she's still grieving her husband and she's like, I can't, but like we can do like something fun. And of course, they fall in love. I absolutely loved this. I have read Shanora Williams thrillers before and I really enjoyed them. This is my first one where it's just a romance from her and highly recommend. I gave this one 5 stars, loved it. And this is from, I think this came directly from the author, but you can buy her books on Amazon. And this is out. It came out in December. A Certain Slant of Light by C.P. Dutour. This one was sent to me by the author, so shout out to her. I know that it's a fantasy. That's all I got, but I'll read I'll read the little blurb. It says, a kingdom in peril, a queen in hiding, a power rising. Sally is transported to another realm on the night of her 20th birthday in order to become queen. This new world, the Alti realm, is nothing like the suburban life she's led. Everything she knows is suddenly irrelevant, and even the people she thought were her parents are not what they seem. Okay, and she has magical abilities. She's a prophesized peacemaker. Oh, but she doesn't have any magic. Okay. As family secrets are revealed and threats to her kingdom mount, Sally struggles to reconcile who she is with the queen she must become. The fate of a nation depends on it, set before a backdrop of reimagined colonial Africa. A Certain Slant of Light is at once a commentary on history's impact on the present day and a consideration of how free will collides with fate. Okay. I never actually really looked at this cover, but it's actually very pretty. And this is Fractured Mirror Publishing. But I wonder, is that her publishing company? Because I feel like she's an indie author. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep it going. Then we have Remember Me Tomorrow by Farah Haran. This one is a romance. I just realized that there's a man right here. Same place, different times. Interesting. What? East House is the oldest and least desirable dorm on campus, but it has a draw for lonely university freshman Eliza Kazem. Jay Hoke, the hot and broody student who vanished from East House 5 months ago without a trace. It's irresistible to an aspiring investigative journalist like Eliza. But when she starts receiving texts from Jay, the mystery takes an unexpected turn. His messages are coming not only from Eliza's own dorm room, but from the past, only weeks before he disappeared. Okay, I lied. This is not a romance. And that's all I'm going to read because what? From the past? What do you mean? That's wild. All right, let's see. Then we have Time's Agent by Brenda Peinato. I want to read this so bad. How? And I just need to do it. I have this whole like video idea where I read a bunch of short fiction, and I probably, honestly, I probably just need to do it this month. Um, and this is one of the books that I want to add onto that. In my short fiction, I mean like novellas, and they're actually sitting right here. Um, but it says a multiverse story of love, loss, time travel, and final stage capitalism. Pocket World, a geographically small, hidden offshoot of our own reality, sped up or slowed down by time. Following humanity's discovery of Pocket World, teams of academics embarked on groundbreaking exploratory missions, eager to study this new technology and harness the potential of a seemingly limitless horizon. And then we have an archaeologist and her wife. And pocket worlds are now controlled by corporations. Of course, they are. Raquel's in disgrace, and Marlena lives in her own pocket universe that Raquel wears around her neck and refuses to speak to her. Also, just look at this cover. This cover is absolutely gorgeous and just detailed, and just everything about it is what I need it to be. Yeah, this is sent to me by Tor.com. Then we have These Deathless Shores by P.H. Lowe. Another cover that's just doing what it needs to do. It takes the wonder and violence of the original Peter Pan and magic dust-like, spins something completely new, an intense, wild ride. It says Jordan was once a lost boy, convinced she would never grow up. Now she's 22 and exiled to the real world, still suffering withdrawal from the addictive magic dust of her childhood. With nothing left to lose, Jordan returns to the island and its stories of pirates and war and the cruelty of youth. Intent on facing Peter one last time on her own terms, if that makes her the villain, so be it. I feel like by doing this now, I'm kind of putting together my February, maybe March TBR, because I want to read this expeditiously. And this was sent to me by Orbit. And then I have Brown Girl Dreaming. This is not a new release. They are re-releasing this, I think, for the 10-year anniversary, is it? And I got a hardcover edition with the deck of pages, and it came with a nice little like dream journal too. That's currently sitting on my desk. I believe this is the 10th anniversary edition. Yeah, because this originally came out in 2014. But this is a memoir in verse. I feel like most people know what Brown Girl Dreaming is. It's a memoir in verse. I read it a couple years ago. I want to read it again now that I am older and I officially, I guess, come of age. Because when I read it, I think I was in college, like early college. So yeah, I just want to read it again. I want to read it again. And this came from someone, Penguin Teen, I think. Yeah. Next up, I'm trying to see, because I think this author also sent me something else, but maybe that was in a different stack, but whatever. We have The Rise of Issa Igwe by Shanna Miles. This is a middle grade fantasy that is just absolutely gorgeous. And also, look at that. You can't even see like the actual real true like color. Boom. It's part of a series too. But I think they're standalones. Like they can be read as standalones. It says delightfully eerie, ghostly good fun, a school for magic like no other. Despite a lifetime of breaking the rules, 12-year-old Issa Igwe never expected to land in witch prison. At least that's what she calls the siren school outside of its hallowed halls. It's actually a prestigious boarding school for magically gifted girls, and Issa's parents insist that she attend, even though the school's creepy history is the stuff of legends. When a devastating loss overturns Issa's world, she decides to break one of her new school's biggest rules of all. She's going to use bitter magic to turn back time. To succeed, she must snatch sleep-inducing feathers from the backs of magical creatures, sneak out while avoiding the night children, whoever they are, and even raise the dead. Her nighttime exploration breaking the school's darkest secrets to light. Her nighttime explorations bring the school's darkest secrets to light and reveal a new power within Issa herself. It turns out that a rule breaker might be just what the Siren School needs to undo an ancient evil. I don't think I ever read the synopsis. I just knew that it was middle grade fantasy. It had a black girl on the cover, and I was like, yeah, sure. But I never actually read the back. That sounds so fascinating. This was sent to me directly from the author, so shout out to her. Thank you. Then we have Water Moon by Samantha Soto Dambao. These covers were really doing something last year. Hopefully what's inside of them is also doing what they need to do. Okay. It says the pawn shop of almost and ifs. Have you ever made a choice that you regretted? Then come to the magical pawn shop where you can sell your regrets, where you can find inner peace for the price of a cup of tea. But who are you without the memory of who you once were? And who will you become? Okay. Is that all it's going to give me? That's all it's telling me? Yep. Love that for me. Yeah. That is the whole description, and this was sent to me by Del Rey Books. All right, then we have The City in Glass by Nevo, who writes, I just forgot the name of the series. Wow, just flew out my head. I really forgot the name of the series, but I absolutely love that series. This is something completely different, but still highly intrigued. It says a demon, an angel, a city. In this new standalone novel, Hugo Award-winning author Nevo introduces a beguiling fantasy city in the tradition of Calvino, Mayville, and Le Guin. The demon Vitrine, immortal, powerful, and capricious, loves the dazzling city of Azrael. She has mothered, married, and maddened the city and its people for generations and built it into a place of joy and desire, revelry and rot. And then the angels come and the city falls. And that's all I'm going to tell you about that. Oh, I get it. A glass city. Ha ha ha. But yeah, just like thank you to Tor.com. They really be feeding me, and I love that for them and for me. Thank you. The Singing Hills Cycle. That's what they wrote. Yes. I was like, what is it called? Yes, Nevo wrote The Singing Hills Cycle. Thank you. Then we have The Message by Ta-Nehisi Coates. This is nonfiction, and I believe this talks a lot about him going to Palestine. Okay, but there's actually 3 essays in here. Okay, so he's going to 3 resonant cities of conflict to explore how the stories we tell and the ones we don't shape our realities. Okay, so he goes to Dakar, a modern city in Senegal. And then he goes to Columbia, South Carolina, where he reports on his own book's banning. LOL. And then to Palestine, where he sees with devastating clarity how easily we are misled by nationalist narratives. Okay. I need to move this up on the list. Yeah, I definitely do, because I'm interested to see how he's going to weave all of that together. But yeah, this is the same author who wrote Between the World and Me, as well as, I think, Letters. What else did he write? There's another one. The Beautiful Struggle, and We Were 8 Years in Power. There we go. And The Water Dancer was his fiction, which I haven't read. Oh, and thank you. Who sent me this? To One World Lit. Then we have some more fantasy, because I, at my heart, am a fantasy girly. And this is The Scarlet Throne by Amy Lowe. To remain a god, she will become a demon. Can we talk about this cover? Can we? Can we talk about it? Just a moment of silence. A dark, heart-thumping political epic fantasy by debut author Amy Lowe, full of scheming demons, morally gray heroines, talking cats, and cutthroat priests. The Scarlet Throne is a delicious tale of power and corruption. Ugh, I love it. I love it. So she's a living goddess chosen by the gods to dispense both mercy and punishment from her place on the Scarlet Throne. But her reign hides a deadly secret. Rather than channeling the wisdom of, my doves are insistent on just like not letting me live. Are you guys done? Okay. Rather than channeling the wisdom of an immortal deity, she harbors a demon. But one cannot remain a living goddess forever. When her temple's priests decide that Bince's time in power has come to an end, a new girl, Meta, is selected to take over her position as a goddess. Binta refuses to be discarded into a life of uncertainty as a young woman, and she strikes a deal with her demon. She will sacrifice her people's lives in order to magnify his power, and in return, he will help her seize control from the priest once and for all. How much of her humanity is she willing to trade for the sake of ambition? Deals with demons are rarely so simple. What? Thank you to Orbit Books for this. Then we have The Gods Below by Andrea Stewart. This is the same author who wrote The Bone Shard Daughter and that series, The Drowning Empire. Excellent series. Absolutely loved that. So when I found out she had another book coming out, I was like, yes, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't even know what this is about. Truly, I don't. And I might keep it like that. Okay. It says The Gods Below begins a sweeping epic from fantasy's newest master worldsmith, period. Andrea Stewart, a story of magic, betrayal, love, and loyalty, where two sisters will clash on opposite sides of a war against the gods. Yep, that's all I'm reading. I did not know we had two sisters in this. I also did not know that there was a war. Like, when I tell you I knew nothing about this book, nothing. I just knew her name was on it. That was it. And I was like, yes, please. I'll take that. Thank you. Then we have Blackheart Man by Nalo Hopkinson. I have another Nalo Hopkinson here. Where is it? Let me... so I can just talk about both her books. This one is a fantasy. I don't even know, again, another author where I was like, incredible. And I don't need to know what it's about. It says the magical island of Chin Chin is facing conquerors from abroad and something sinister from within in this entrancing fantasy. Okay. Yeah, again, another one. I did not read the synopsis, and I'm not going to read the synopsis because I'm just not going to. But it's Nalo Hopkinson. She does inventive, usually like Afro-Caribbean inspired, informed fantasy and science fiction, which then leads me to this, Jamaica Ginger and Other Concoctions, which is her recent collection of short stories. This one I have read. I read this in November, I think. Really enjoyed it. But yeah, thank you to, I never know how to pronounce it, Tachyon Publications and Saga Press for these two beauties. Then we have something by Chloe Gong, Vilest Things. This is a sequel to Immortal Longings. Like, what? So I'm not going to read the synopsis because I have not yet read Immortal Longings. I want to. I do this thing where I don't want to read an author's next series or like until I finish their previous one, which is why I like made myself finish An Ember in the Ashes quartet after so long, because Sabatier came out with a new book. And so I read and loved These Violet Delights, have yet to read These Violet Ends because I'm living in the land of Delulu, if you will. But because I have not finished that duology, I did not read Immortal Longings. So this is how we end up here. But I knew that I was going to love it because I love her writing. And I just need to do it. I need to just do it. I think Immortal Longings, These Violent Ends, is on my 25 or 25. I'm pretty sure I put it on that list. And I think I kind of want to reread These Violent Delights because I read it back when it like just came out. So I want to reread it so I can wrap up that duology, and then I can finally read Immortal Longings and Vilest Things, as well as her other duology. Who sent me this? I don't know. I love how the publisher is like nowhere on the dust jacket. I love that for her. Saga Press. All right, that was the first stack, y'all. I did it. You can't see it, but it was much taller. So let's get to the second stack. We're making good time, kind of. We have Under the Fading Sky by Cynthia Kadohara, which is giving very much like YA, angsty, deep in my feelings. That's what this cover is giving me. So stuff has like a beginning and an end. And you don't really realize that until the end or right before. Before that, you're just chilling that you're just thinking that you and your homies are chilling and getting high and it's all going to work out, you know? Truth is, the way life works is that you were born in the eye of a hurricane and you think that's just the way life is, calm like, until it isn't. So yeah, I'm only 16 and I would change a lot of stuff if I could go back in time. But you can't ever do that. And when you can't, that's when you find out who you really are. See, I told you, angsty teens. This doesn't actually tell me what it's about. Like, truly doesn't tell me what this is about. When did this come out? Oh, this comes out in April. This is actually not out yet. So I might actually get to read this before it comes out. Maybe. We'll see. Thank you to Simon Teen. Just put that there. We'll see how long I can continue to stack these books until they eventually fall over. Then we have Children of Usei by Moses Osei Utomi. This is a sequel to... that's beautiful. I can see the cover. Daughters of Oduma. Pretty sure this is... Yep, it was at the top, y'all. Can you believe that? I just totally ignored that. I have not read this. I have not read the first book yet. I want to. I think I just need to get the audiobook. Yeah, I need to just get the audiobook. Why didn't I think to do that before? This is middle grade. African-inspired fantasy. And yeah, I can't even tell you what the first book is about because I forgot. I think there's warrior women, I think there's warrior women. I really am just like in my head just being like, yeah, these are books that I'm going to read in February. Then we have All the Noise at Once. This has not come out yet. I believe this comes out in April or March. Yeah, in April 15th. This one I believe has, yep, autism rep. It says equal parts witty and heartbreaking, All the Noise at Once serves as a window into the Black autistic experience and as a beacon of hope for those our justice system has forgotten and failed. Easily one of the best books I've read all year. And that was blurred by J. Coles, who wrote Tyler Johnson Was Here. Yeah, so it's about Aiden. He wants to play football, like his star quarterback brother Brandon. Overstimulation meltdown gets in the way of Aiden making the team. Oh wow. But the school year starts and a spot needs to be filled. However, some teammates are wary of how Aiden's autism will present itself on game day. Tensions rise, a fight breaks out, cops are called. Brandon interferes to help his brother, but is arrested by the very same cops who just hours earlier were cheering him from the bleachers. When Brandon is wrongly charged for felony assault on an officer, everything he has worked for starts to slip away, and the brothers' relationship is tested. As Brandon's trial inches closer, Aiden is desperate to figure out what really happened that night. Can he clear his brother's name in time? And this is by Deandra Davis. Thank you to Simon Teen for this. Yeah, I'll hopefully be reading this in either February or March. I'll probably want to throw it across the room, but that's a cool book. Yeah. And then we have one that I'm hoping to read this month. Like, I had to go find the dust jacket because it was prepped for reading, and that is Black Girls Breathing: Heal from Trauma, Combat Chronic Stress, and Find Your Freedom. This is by Jasmine Marie. This is another nonfiction all about harnessing the power of breath work with this compassionate healing guide for Black women. I need this desperately need this because I need this. So I really want to read this month. It shouldn't be a problem. It's been sitting on my desk. I'm trying to wrap up some other books and then before I start another one. And this one was sent to me by Balance Books. Is that what they're called? Is that the full name? Yeah, Balance, which is part of Hachette. Then we have another one, highly anticipated release of last year, The Lotus Empire by Tasha Suri. This is the finale of The Burning Kingdoms. This is the same series with the Jasmine Throne and the Oleander Sword. Absolutely love those books. I know this is going to break my heart and then put it back together. I'm ready. This is a romantasy with politics and intrigue and earth magic, if you will, and overthrowing kingdoms, and it's just so good. If you have not read The Jasmine Throne, read it. Just do it. You will not regret it. It is Absolute perfection. I thought the bookmark just like fell out and was like, I'm here. Yeah, but absolute perfection. Highly recommend it. And this was sent to me by Orbit. Next up, we have another fantasy, Blood of the Old Kings by Sung Il Kim, translated by Anton Her. It's giving anti-hero, it's giving villain. I love it. In an empire run on necromancy, dead sorcerers are the lifeblood. Like, what? And I think there's like a dragon below the city, yeah, that wears the empire's chains. Step into a world of necromancy, murder, and twisted magic, a world in need of a hero. This is another one where I kind of refused to read the synopsis after I kind of knew what it was a little bit about, not really, because I want to be just enthralled into it. And I'm also realizing that this will fit one of my just like personal goals of reading 12 translated works this year, because this actually is a translated book, translated fantasy book, which I need to read more of. Then we have, who sent me this? Tor sent me Blood of the Old Kings. Then from Saga Press, this is How You Lose the Time War by Amal El Motar and Max Gladstone. This is not a new book, but they re-released it. I think, are we coming up on 5 years or 10 years? It's some kind of anniversary. 5 years. Yeah, we came up on 5 years. And this is about two people on opposite ends of a war. We have red and we have blue, and they're communicating. And are they falling in love? And there's a post-singularity technotopia, and yeah, a twisting sapphic time travel fantasy love story that never stops surprising. Readers will reach the end and want to turn back to the start. Yeah, I've always heard excellent things about this, so we'll see. Then we have The Last Dragon of the East by Katrina Kwan. This one sent to me by Saga Press, and it says, inspired by the Chinese myths of ancient dragon gods and threads of fate, Katrina Kwan's dazzling fantasy debut is a propulsive adventure perfect for fans of Su Lin Tan and Hannah Witten. It's a short synopsis, so I'll read it. At the spry young age of 25, Sai has led a quiet life, barely keeping the family tea house up and running while taking care of his ailing mother, but he's parlayed a not-so-secret gift into a side career. He can see the red threads of fate between soulmates, which lends itself nicely to matchmaking. Okay, I'm getting to remember this. Sai has never tried to follow his own thread, which is gray and fraying, but Sai's ordinary existence is about to be turned upside down when his mother's doctor sells him a pair of dragon scales, claiming they're a miracle cure. Sai is pretty sure he's being scammed. When the medicine actually works, Sai finds himself forced by his ruthless emperor into the search for a dragon thought long extinct. Thrown into the heart of a brewing war, he must face down terrifying challenges, both magic and mortal. And for the very first time, he may discover who's at the other end of his thread of fate. I'm just realizing that there's another person on this cover. Like, these are not his hands, it's somebody else's hands. Also, I just love this cover so much. It seems like a very short read. It's less than 200 pages. And this was sent by Saga Press. All right, now we're down to the last last 6. We have Heist Royale by Kavion Lewis. This is a sequel to Thieves Gambit. I actually just started this the other day. I'm only about 5% in though. And this was sent by Penguin Teen. Thieves Gambit is like a YA thriller. Think Ocean's 11 mixed with, what is it called? The Widows? There was a movie with Viola Davis in it. I was like very much, I think also Cynthia Erivo. And they like had to steal some things. Yeah, think like that, but with teenagers and a thieving game and what is it called? The Amazing Race. Like put all that together, and that's kind of what you get with Thieves Gambit. I really enjoyed it. Very excited to see where we go in Heist Royale. But yeah, so I'll be letting you guys know fairly shortly what my thoughts on that are. Then we have another one, The Legacy of Arniston House. This is by T.L. Huchu, and this is the 4th book, and yep, the fourth book in the Edinburgh Nights series. I've actually also already read this one, really enjoyed it. And this is, think, dystopian Scotland. There's ghosts and a secret library. It's very like not gothic. It's very dreary, but not in a bad way. All I can think of like is like if you think of London when it's just like wet and cold and foggy, that vibe. But it's not gothic and it's not like academia. But it's just cold and wet and kind of miserable, and it's in Scotland. And so of course there's some of that contention between the Scottish and the English. And yeah, we have a Nigerian Scottish Black woman who can talk to ghosts, talk to spirits, and send them off into the world. And she is brought into this secret society who looks down upon the work that she does, but also needs her help. And it's just shenanigans and political intrigue without being stuffy. And it's also hilarious. I am very much looking forward to the next installment in this series. A lot of things were wrapped up in this one, but also we have quite a few things that were left open, and it ends on one hell of a cliffhanger. And this was sent to me by Tor Publishing. All right, then we have Fortune's Kiss by Amber Clement. All I know is there's tarot cards involved in this. I think they make their own tarot cards. I could be wrong. Welcome to Fortune's Kiss, where you can attain your wildest dreams, but the price of admission may be your life. For the first time in a decade, the legendary gambling den Fortune's Kiss has returned to Ciudad Milagro. The game is Loteria. Upon its return, so it's two friends, the pair enter the mystical den. They realize that beneath its glamour, the salon hides treacherous secrets, like the old predatory magic in its heart, and it is ravenous. Round after round, the girls scheme, lie, flirt. When bodies pile up, all bets and friendships are off, as each girl learns exactly how far she'll go to ensure she leaves happiest. Okay, I guess it kind of like it's not tarot, kind of is. I think that's how it was pitched in the email that was sent to me. So we'll see how that goes. And this was sent by, these publishers are really making me look. I forgot they sent me 2 cards, or they sent me 3 cards, which I will be using as bookmarks. Who is the publisher? Union Square and Company. All right, last 3. We have Conditions of a Heart by Bethany Mangle. This is a YA contemporary. Bryn Kwan is desperate for her high school persona Bryn Kwan is desperate for her high school persona to be real. That Bryn is head of the yearbook committee, the favorite for prom queen, and definitely not crumbling from a secret disability that's rapidly wearing her down. If no one knows the truth about her condition, Bryn doesn't have to worry about the pitying looks or accusations of being a faker that already destroyed her childhood friendships. She's even willing to let go of her 4-year relationship with her first love, Oliver, rather than reveal that a necessary surgery is the reason she ignored his existence for an entire summer. Oh no. But after Bryn tries to break up a fight at a pep rally and winds up barred from all her clubs and senior prom, she has nothing left to prop up her illusion of being just like everyone else. During a week-long suspension from school, she realizes that she doesn't quite recognize the face in the mirror, and it's not because of her black eye from the fight. With a healthy sister who simply doesn't understand, and a confused ex-boyfriend who won't just take a hint and go away like a normal human being, Bryn begins to wonder if it's possible to reinvent her world by being the person she thought no one wanted. Wow, probably gonna break me into 1,000 pieces, but also heal me at the same time. Thank you to Simon Teen. Oh, I just realized that on her shirt is a ribcage. And we have the third and last nonfiction, The Gloomy Girl Variety Show, a memoir by Frida Apum. It says, reckoning with identity, illness, and in-betweenness. Frida Apum's voice comes through these pages like a flame, crackling with insight, wryly humorous even as it sears, and impossible to look away from. Explores the opposing forces of her no place, nowhere identity as a Nigerian American daughter, diasporically displaced, who spent years in and out of institutions seeking treatment for life threatening mental illness. Examines her journey through healthcare and housing systems via a pop cultural lens, our collective obsession with HTV's home buying and makeup shows, and the patchwork of poetry, art, and auto theory. With raw honesty and glittering wit, this debut memoir maps the complexity of life under intersecting forms of oppression, revealing what it takes to turn from the brink of despair toward community and self acceptance, find refuge in love, and reimagine. This was sent to me by Feminist Press. Yeah, definitely want to get to this one soon. I feel like I will definitely resonate with this one a lot. The last book we have is Breath of Oblivion by Maurice Brodus. This is the sequel to A Sweep of Stars, which is a Afro sci-fi. And this series is called the Astra Black Trilogy, which explores the struggles of an empire. I'm not going to read the synopsis because I have not yet read Sweep of Stars. I want to, though, and I will at some point, hopefully within the next couple months. Also, I just really love this cover. I think I love this cover more than the cover of the first book. Yeah, who sent this to me? Oh, there's the cover of the first book right there. This was sent to me by Tor Publishing. But yeah, that is it. I have reached the end of the stack. Put this here. Luckily, it's just leaning, so I don't have to do anything else with it. Thanks so much for chilling with me, hanging out with me and chilling with me. Make sure to subscribe and do all the fun things, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you're notified whenever I come out with a new video or go live for something. And yeah, thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. I ain't living for the moment. See what's mine and I want it. Hungry like a Pac-Man. I'm Bruce Wayne and Batman. I'm Naruto with a Hanzo. Got a sharp mind like I'm Einstein. Plus I'm copywriting, so it's all mine. Check it for me, I'm in the sky.